Hey guys, today on Absolute Aquatics we're going to talk about the easiest carpeting plant, Dwarf Sagitteria. Alright guys, so here you can see my Dwarf Sag, or Sagitteria, and it is an absolute jungle. It is not hard to grow one bit. You have white, you have water, and at least the bioload from fish or shrimp, and it will grow. As you can see, mine has grown so much that it has come out here. Ignore all the algae. I guess algae is the easiest carpeting plant, but you don't want that. It is literally shooting out into the Monte Carlo, and I can't keep up with it. I pulled about 10 plugs out like a week ago, and there's already there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's one all the way over here. That is quite a ways that they have traveled. So you can propagate this plant out super easily, because you just plant it and they send out little shoots. You can see one right here. You see that little stem looking thing that's growing across the gravel? That is how they propagate. So these ones that are shooting out into the Monte Carlo are all connected just by those runners. So you might say this is a carpeting plant, but if you look, some of them are like 12 inches long. Well, that's true, but those ones have been growing for a long time. You don't have to trim them very often. And when you do, it does kill the leaf. So you don't want to go and lawn mow it down to just a 1/4 inch. You want to cut them a little taller than the average carpeting plant. I actually think that having taller plants in the front of a tank looks really cool. I know that that's pretty hypocritical because I have all the Monte Carlo in the front here. But I mean, it looks good. And then you get to see there's shrimp, fish, snails. They just come and sit right on the glass, just hanging out there, hiding. And this plant is amazing for breeding fish and shrimp in situations where you have a fish that might potentially eat them. So with the shrimp, I have seen my guppies eat shrimp before. Little babies shrimp. But because of this plant, a lot of the babies that hang out in here, they'll grow up to be adults. And I'm not saying the guppies eat the shrimp like crazy, but this just does add an extra layer of protection because the guppies typically won't swim down in here through all the weeds. Dwarf Sag is very hard to kill, very beginner friendly. I have literally floated this plant. The few Dwarf Sag that I planted in the Build a Planet Aquarium with only things that I already have video, which I'll put in an icon on the top right, so check that out when this is done. Those Dwarf Sag had been floating for about 6 months, and this plant is considered mainly a root feeder, and they floated for that good and were perfectly healthy. This is the ultimate beginner plant. I actually think that Dwarf Sag should be preached out to beginners way more than plants like Amazon swords, because they are just that much easier. So this is a pretty good view of the roots. You can see they do have a pretty big root system for the size of the plant. Nothing compared to something like an Amazon sword, but still pretty impressive for the size of the plant. And when I plant these, typically I will cut them so that there's only like 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch of root, and then I plant it, and that really makes the plant grow, because the new roots will grow, the plant will send out more leaves, and it really makes it go much quicker. And you will get melt back, but that's to be expected with every plant. I will say that always. Every plant will always melt back at least a little. The plant leaves might not even die, but they will look bad at some point when they're new to your tank. Alright guys, so that's my video on Dwarf Sag, the easiest plant for beginners, especially to carpet. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Give this video a like, check out my other videos, and subscribe to my channel.